Hello and welcome to Lahore on a sorry day indeed. The Sri Lanka team, which was visiting the country, has come under attack by no less than 12 men who opened fire at their vehicle. And to discuss the situation pertaining to cricket and the security situation in the country, henceforth, I'm pleased to be joined in the Lahore studio by the resident editor of Dawn, Mr. Ashar Rahman, and Danial Hassan, who is our sports correspondent and has been covering the entire series and was out in the field all day long. In the Islamabad studio, I'm pleased to be joined by Mr. Tasneem Noorani, who is the former Interior Secretary of the country. Thank you for joining us, all of you. My first question to you, Rahman Saab, is it the end of cricket after this unprecedented act?
It seems so. In the context of Pakistan, we have been craving for cricket for long. But right now, it's beyond cricket. It's much more than cricket. There are 12 men who are still at loose in Lahore. I mean, it's still at large. And we have absolutely no idea how the administration is going to stop them. That is the first concern. It was very sad that the Sri Lankans were targeted. I don't know whether they were targeted. Actually, it might have been the terrorists might have wanted to attack the Pakistani team. There are theories.
Interestingly enough, the first statement that came out of the DGPR was that the reports are that there's cross-firing between two opposing groups, and the Sri Lankan team just happened to be there. Do you buy that argument?
Well, it may have been an attempt to just to gloss over the real facts. It might have risen out of confusion, but there is confusion all around. I mean, if you look at the theories that have been going the rounds, I mean, they are all getting stuck at the Liberty roundabout right now. There are theories. There are some people who say it might have been people in India. There are theories which say that there might have been some groups in Sri Lanka who might have been involved. There are theories which say that it was an attack by some people up north and within Pakistan. But this as a whole, I mean, Liberty Square today represents the problems that the region is faced with. South Asia.
Conspiracy theories about Daniel, you were there all morning, soon after the attack took place. Who do you think was targeted?
Well, I would just like to add what Ashar Saab said earlier, that firstly, we're not sure if Sri Lankan team was a target, because we do know that the Pakistan cricket team was to reach Gaddafi Stadium first, but they got delayed, things got delayed for them. So the Sri Lankan team, along with the ICC officials, were heading towards the Gaddafi Stadium. Now, apart from that, we do know that we're still under attack, as a matter of fact. I agree absolutely to the fact that those shooters have not been arrested. We do not know what exactly their main target would be in the near future. But apparently, or seemingly rather, that what we know is that the main target was the convoy of the Sri Lankan cricket team, because there were no other government officials nearby. There are no major government officers nearby. And what we were told by the driver of the bus, it seemed that they knew what they were shooting at. Their main target was the convoy of the Sri Lankan cricket team.
Okay, precisely. It was the bus that was carrying the cricketers, and they were sure of that, obviously. Absolutely. Because there was a mobile squad with them. Noorani Sab, on that note, I would like to come to you and ask you how these rocket launchers and these grenades have made their way into the heart of the cultural capital of the country, A. B, what are we doing to stop this onslaught?
Well, I guess it's a question that everybody is asking, and I think nobody seems to have the answer. The fact of the matter is,
isn't it high time we had answers to these questions?
Sure, I'm certainly that is how it should be. But finding arms of any sort in any part of the country is no surprise. You know, you have the most secure areas in Islamabad, and you've had huge trucks of explosives finding their way in.
So where's the security lapse? Do you think
rocket launchers.
Do you think there are government agencies involved in it, or do you think there is just a security lapse and they're just too clever for our security agencies?
Well, I think we have to admit that there has been a lapse, because of course, the prior knowledge was obviously not given. I don't think that the cricket team was informed of any prior possible attack, which is normally what the intelligence agencies does. The other thing is that the security arrangements were obviously to prevent something like this. It wasn't a unique attack. It was a straight and simple attack launched from the sides. But unfortunately, well, of course, the police did give a lot of sacrifice. 8 people reportedly have been killed. But one would have liked to see them retaliate. Certainly, they could have taken casualties. But I think the effective thing which would have reflected good training would have been if they had also inflicted some sort of casualties in return.
Okay. The lack of training, we'll come to the
other
lack of training of the security officials, but right after this short break, we are discussing the security lapse in Lahore and cricket under attack. Do stay with us.